Okay, so coming, well, now on Shudder is the new film from director Ryan Glover. He co-wrote it with, oh gosh, how do I say this? Krista Dzialoszynski. Yeah, I'm not sure if I got that right, but yeah. Now, they both produced the film along with Robert Menzies, Paul Moyer, Bruce Fleming, and Dave Conlon executive produced the film as well. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Adrian Ellis composed the music. Glover also did the cinematography and edited the film. Kevin F. Brown, Danilowski were also on sound. Visual effects were Matthew Peller and Helen Thatch. And our cast, well, our main cast, we have Teagan Johnston as Catherine, April Lerno is her friend Anita, and the photographer Grace is played by Jenna Schaefer. We also have Laura Bidner. She's the pianist at the end. We have Tara Nevwaldomsky. She's the tattoo artist at the beginning. And the physicist is played by Toby Hendy. So yeah, that's our cast. And people, the gist of the film is this. In the dead of winter, Catherine, a talented musician who, having recently broke up her successful band, travels to her aunt's remote coastal cottage to work on new material and solitude. Once there, she and local photographer Grace reconnect, and while visiting an abandoned farmhouse with a disturbing past, soon after, strange and seemingly supernatural occurrences begin to manifest at the cottage, escalating each night and dangerously eroding Catherine's sense of reality. Bum, 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 bum. So yes, that, people, is the gist of the film, right? And this is pretty much a real slow burn, which is never a bad thing. But I mean, as we open up with this weird kind of beach mountain kind of sequence with someone just walking, then we kind of go to Catherine getting a tattoo, which it's never really explained if the tattoo had any meaning to her or like what it is, right? We then see her taking off. So she drives, gets to this cottage. And like one thing I find odd, right? I mean, if you go to a new spot, we see her go into a couple of rooms, but that's it. She makes note of, oh, and I've got a basement, but never goes to look in the basement, right? And you kind of think if someone, yeah, you explore it, right? You would explore the whole place. But yeah, she turns up here, and we see her FaceTime with her friend Anita, and you get the sense that there's been some sort of split up because we also see on the journey she calls a guy, and it was a very awkward conversation. But it's not until, right, I think it was an interview that she's doing. No, she's speaking to a manager, that you're like, okay, right? Because you then start to find out, oh, a band has split up and now she's writing solo. Okay, so this dude she spoke to at the start was part of this band. You know, and there's all this stuff that you're like, huh, all right. Well, I guess that explains her going to this cabin and having all the keyboards in the floor studio, as her friend Anita would call it. Right. But this is all stuff that we have no clue about. It's not mentioned until this moment, which is a little bit odd, right? It's a little bit odd because with that knowledge, you understand a lot about why she's there, what she's doing, what she could be looking for. There's, we don't, I don't know, there's no real empathy with Catherine because we know nothing about her. There's nothing to latch onto. There's nothing to care about, in essence, right? We also had, there's a few scenes of her sitting in the shower or sitting in the bath, which don't do anything, right? There's no, like, it's not like she's sitting in the bath pondering into herself or crying or just, it's just, we see her sitting in the bath. I think one time she's smoking in the bath, but that's it. And you're just like, why have these scenes, right? Why have they, now they're not exploitative scenes or anything like that, but yeah, it's weird. Now there is a scene towards the end of the film where she takes a shower outside, which is just like, in the snow. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, that must be some cold shit, right? Now during the day when it's a bit warmer, it makes a bit more sense, but still it's a bit like, maybe not the time of year. But in that scene we see a lot more, but it doesn't really do anything for the story. So you wonder, why is this scene here? You know what I mean? There's the other problem, I kind of think, because I do believe before she goes to the farmhouse with Grace, there is a few noises in the place, but she doesn't really pay them any mind. And I guess, you know, at that point there is no real need to. But yeah, at the farmhouse, yes, no, there's definitely stuff, because at the farmhouse you're wondering, because you're taking a look at stuff, and I swear I saw a chair move. I swear you see a shadow. Now it's hard to like, I found it difficult trying to look for some of these things just because, you know, can't see for shit, right? So there may have been a few more clues sprinkled in some of the sections of the film. But yeah, we see this stuff, and when she notices something, I think I see her write an email. I couldn't see what the email said, but later in the film it is referenced that she did send an email about something she saw. And then a lot of weird things happen, but she does nothing, which seems weird, because you think at first, right, you could think, oh, am I drinking too much? Is it this? But when it happens again and again and again, and some odder shit goes down, you'd think someone would do something. You know, I think she tells Anita some stuff, but nothing too crazy. And you'd be like, you'd either leave, right? So she knows this girl Grace, so it'd be like, can I stay at yours? Can you stay at mine? Like, but leave. because this is the thing. From the sounds of it, the band is very successful, right? To have a manager, to be hit up, to do interviews all the time, and all of this kind of stuff, you would think, yeah, she's pretty pop, like she's like if not crazy famous, there is a celebrity there, so she might have a few ducats to her name. So you'd be like, couldn't she just get a hotel or something? Even if it's not a great one, stay somewhere other than the fucking house. But it's never. There's a weird incident on the beach, but nothing is said. Which again, it seems odd that you'd feel there'd be a hello, or what the fuck are you doing? Are you following me? Like, what the fuck's going down? Like something. But there's just little to no reaction. So that part of the film doesn't really work for me, right? I just see like you need something to build up this character for you to really emphasize and care for her, right? But we don't get that. Now, what the film does really well is the motherfucking creepy shit, right? Because it's just the sounds, right? The ambiance. They create that. Oh my gosh, so well. Right? I'm just sitting on the edge of my motherfucking seat, just like, all right, what the fuck just happened? I swear something just moved. Did something move? I heard something. What's going on? Wait, what's that? You know, you know what I mean? So that was great. They did a superb job on that aspect of the film. All right, so, and the music isn't bad, right? I do believe Catherine Teagan is she's an artist in her own right? So, yeah, the music of the film isn't bad. It did kind of remind me of Emily Haynes' solo stuff. You know, Emily Haynes, lead singer, the female vocalist of Metric, which are, you know, great. Dead Disco, Monster Hospital, you know what I mean? Just all them great tracks, people. Whoo. And it reminded me of her solo stuff. You know what I mean? I did wonder if she may have written for the thing, but I don't believe she did. But yeah, no. So there's parts of this film that work very well, and others which you're not quite sure there's a clarity to them, which is a shame. Because as I said, look, the suspense and everything, oh, very good. And there's a thing that happens at the end that then doesn't get referenced unless it's referenced in the song, which again, very vague, right? So you're just like, what's happening here? Like, what? Huh? What? So yeah, I think the strings is going to be one of those divisive films. I think it's going to work for a load of people and not quite work for others, you know? But if you want to check it out, you know, then Shudder is a place for you. It's a new Shudder original. So people get on the platform and yeah, give it a go. It's also a code in the information of the episode, which will give you a 14-day trial. So yeah, why don't you see if the strings plays the right note for you?